So for my pocket lining, I'm using Power Knit. To cut out my piece, I did it a little bit different than the instructions say. What I did is I put my two pieces same sides together. Honestly, I have no idea which is the right side or the wrong side of Power Knit, if there is such a thing. I always just rub it against my face to figure out which side is softer, and that's the side I decide that's what I want against my skin. Instead of, like the directions say, taking your front and putting it on top, I just found that kind of confusing. I took the piece that I cut out of my front and placed it on the corner, and then I cut that out. So there's my corner piece cut out, my pocket piece cut out of both of my pocket lining. For the pocket facing, I've gone and serged my edges. You could use a zigzag if you don't have a serger. And then I went and pinned it onto my pocket bag. And now I'm going to go and stitch right along here. Let me do this. Right along this side, and then along this side with my machine. So I've stitched on both sides of my serged edge, and as you can see, that's what it looks like now. It's securely fastened down, but that's all that you have to do. Then you can go and baste along these edges. Since I'm using the Power Knit as my pocket lining, I want to have the least amount of bulk in my seam as possible. So I'm going to not do French seams. I'm folding the pocket together so that the facings are on the inside. And I'm going to pin this and then going to serge or sew, whatever kind of machine you have, that seam, the bottom seam of the pocket bag. And now that I have my pocket lining, I can move on to attaching it to the front of my pocket, or my the front of my skirt. I want to show you what I do with these tails on serger ends. I take this little tool, it pulls snags through fabrics, and I go right through these little, right between the threads of the stitches, the serger, the serged seam, and the fabric. And then place this inside the hook, far away from you, because you have a camera in front of your face, I promise. And then pull it through. If you want to go even farther, your tool goes. You just do it again. And then just clip that, and the tail is secured within the seam. For the slant pocket, you take your front, take your pocket piece, and place the facing against the right side of your front, and pin. If you're not using a power nut, or if you are, slant pockets are a type of pocket that it's on the bias, so it tends to stretch more overall over time. So to reinforce that, I like to use either the selvage of a woven, or since we're already using power net and it has really good recovery, you could use this, but the selvage of a woven, it has no give. It's not going to stretch out over time. On my daughter's pair, this is what I did with hers, and I really liked the way that it worked out. So take a strip about 1/2 inch wide, and just place it on the pocket lining side of your piece, not on the side, not on the skirt side. So this will all be on the inside. And then just pin that in place. And you do the same thing for both pockets. That will help with the how fabrics on the bias, since we're using a woven here, tend to stretch out over time. Now you're going to sew the pocket lining to the front with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. On the slant pockets, for the Chino version, I prefer to understitch and not top stitch. I feel like it's a much cleaner version. Not saying that the other way is wrong, it's just my preference. So I went and pressed my seam allowance towards the pocket bag, and now I'm going to top stitch on the side, on the facing side of my pocket bag. At about 1/8, 1/16 to 1/8 inch away from the fold. Now that I've understitched that pocket, I will, I or you, anyone, will go fold this so that the pocket is on the inside, and then press to help crease that. And then fold this all like this, all your pocket together, and then baste this here and baste here. Your pocket bag, the fold of your pocket bag lines up with the notch in the waistband right here, or not the waistband, the top of your skirt or shorts right there.